For this recipe, we're going to need 4 cups of flour, sifted, 1 cup of butter or 2 sticks, half a cup of cornstarch, 2 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, vanilla, and salt is optional. If you're using salted butter, you don't have to use the salt. Otherwise, we would do half a teaspoon of salt. We're going to start by mixing our dry ingredients. So this is the half a cup of cornstarch, our cup of sugar, and we sift everything so that we don't have lumps in our dough. So I will just discard this sugar here. We're just gonna give this a mix. And if you did want to use your salt, you would also add it, but I'm gonna be using salted butter, so I'm not gonna add any salt to this mix. We're gonna start off by mixing our room temperature butter, and again it's 2 sticks or 1 cup. So now our butter has been creamed. It looks a little lighter in shade. I'm not sure if you can notice the difference, but now that our butter has been creamed, we're going to add 2 eggs at room temperature, 1 egg at a time. Wanted to incorporate a bit. I usually crack my eggs in a separate bowl, but I don't have one handy, so since this is a demo, I don't think I'm gonna have any problems with having eggshells on my mix. Now I'm gonna add some vanilla. I'm gonna add a half teaspoon of vanilla. Now we're gonna put our machine on low, or stir is the lowest point that I can put it on this machine. And little by little, I'm going to incorporate my flour. I'm going to add my shield because I know this is going to be a little bit messy. So again, I'm adding my flour. On low. Now you want to try to do it as fast as possible because you don't want your dough to get too firm. So we don't want to overmix. And then I need to block. I'm going to turn everything off. If you notice that your dough is not totally incorporated, that's fine. We're gonna do the rest by hand because we don't want to over mix. So this is what it should look like. It looks like it's crumbly right now, but once we start kneading it manually, then it's gonna form into a dough. So I'm just going to scrape the bowl, make sure everything underneath, if there's any flour, it gets incorporated. Now, with very clean hands, which I just cleaned my hands, we're going to gather our dough together. This recipe will definitely yield quite a bit of cookie dough. So you can wrap your cookie dough and freeze it and just bring it out when you have an order, or if you're ready to use it, you want to roll it out and put it in the fridge for about an hour. Once it's all set, then you'll be ready to cut your cookies. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll one of my bowls that I have here so that I can make my order. To roll out my cookie dough, I'm gonna put the cookie dough in between 2 layers, or one underneath and one on top of saran wrap, and I'm just gonna roll it out. Now I like to roll it out before it sets, so it can be a little crumbly, and the reason I do it is because once it sets in the fridge, then it's really hard to work with. And if you notice, the dough is a little dry when you work with it, but that's what makes our cookies keep its shape. This dough is very, very firm. It tastes as good as any other sugar cookie, or even better, that I've tried. And you're gonna get these shapes to stay true. So if you notice, I have 2 guides on the side, and I can provide links as to where I got the guides. These guides make sure that when I roll out my cookies, they're the same thickness all around. So I just move them as I roll my cookie dough. Have nice, uniform, and even cookies. And that's important when you're doing professional cookies, because you want consistency in your order. You want every cookie to look uniform and the same. If they vary in thickness, it's not too professional. So definitely worth the investment to get these guides. And they come in different sizes. I believe this is an 1/8 of an inch. They have, depending on the thickness that you want, different sizes. They also have rolling pans that have the guides built into the rolling pan on the side, so they're like rubber bands. Those are pretty good too. I actually want to order one and maybe demo it in another video, because I'm curious to see how those work. This way you don't have to keep moving the guides like I am here. But I'll keep you guys posted once I order it. Okay, so my cookie dough is uniform. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in a pan, so in my baking pan, so that I can refrigerate it and have it set. So I've transferred my cookie dough onto my pan. Now this is enough cookie dough to make about 8 cookies. Now it all depends on your cookie cutter, but I'm gonna be doing this unicorn cookie cutter shape, and it should yield me about 8 cookies. Now I'm gonna need to roll out more. I prefer to work in smaller batches than with a huge cookie dough sheet, only because when I transfer it, when I'm cutting it, I prefer to work in smaller portions. This way I'll probably end up making another or rolling out one of my other bowls and have 16 cookies. So I may have a little more, a little less, but I prefer to work in smaller batches. So it's been about an hour and my cookie dough has set. So I am going to remove the saran wrap and start cutting my cookies. Now I've already pre-lined another pan with parchment paper, and this is a good recommendation if you want your pans to last. This way they don't get stained. So I'm gonna start off cutting my cookies. Now it is set, so the dough is gonna be very hard. That's what we want. And we're gonna place our cookie in the pan. I've also preset my oven to 350, or preheated my oven to 350, so that when I'm done cooking, so my oven has now preheated. It's at 350, and I use my bottom oven specifically for my cookie business. This way I don't have to worry about allergies, food allergies, cross contamination. So this particular oven is dedicated just for my cookie business, and you want to consult with your local ordinances regarding running a business from your home and see what their requirements are. So we're gonna leave these cookies here for about 6 minutes and we're gonna continue. So our cookies are now done, and as you can see, they have kept their shape. This is the original shape, and they are not smudged. Everything looks just the way we put it in there, and this is great results. This recipe is my favorite recipe. I have used quite a few in my experience, and it took me a while to find this one, so I want to save you some time and give you the best recipe. So we're gonna put our cookies in our cooling rack, and let me set my video camera. I'll be right back. So now that I can use both my hands, we're going to transfer cookies over to the cooling rack. And this is also my favorite spatula. I think it's called the Big Cookie Spatula. It's by Wilton. It's awesome. You will get your cookies in one scoop and not have to worry about them breaking, or you can even get 2 cookies at a time like I just did. So this is my very favorite spatula. So on the next video, I'm gonna show you how to decorate these cookies. Once a week, we're gonna have a decoration of our new cookie cutter for the week, and I'm gonna show you how I go about decorating that particular cookie. And if you like this video and would like to subscribe, please do so. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Thank you.